welcome to the stage, Mr. Craig Collier and Stephanie Burgos.
Stephanie, it is an honor and privilege to share the stage with you, and I've got to be honest, like, I've never met with a doctor before where I get to ask the questions.
Yeah.
So,
awesome.
What medications are you allergic to? All right. Hey, you guys, we have an awesome leader, a coach to share some thoughts with you at this time. And Stephanie, you've got a very compelling story. You grew up in the Bronx,
Yep.
New York.
Yes.
Father, Puerto Rican,
Yes.
mother from the Dominican Republic.
Yes.
8 years of medical school, residency.
Yep.
What brought you to Beachbody?
All right. So how many healthcare professionals do I have in the room? Do I have any? Awesome. Awesome. So honestly, growing up when I was a child, I was overweight. I would watch my mom kind of go to Nutrisystem and Jenny Craig and all of these kind of weird fad diets that were out there. And so that was kind of my understanding of what, healthy living was. And so as I kind of, as I grew up, as I kind of went through my life, in college, I gained about 30 pounds in college. So as opposed to the freshman 15, I gained the freshman 30. And so when it was time to go to medical school, I lost the weight. I was able to work out, and I used it as my stress relief. For me, I always used exercise as a stress reliever for me, so that was never an issue. But when I went into residency and I kind of started with the hours, working 60 to 70, sometimes 80 hours a week, the pounds slowly started to come on. And so, I wear scrubs at work. And so if any of you have ever worn scrubs, they're extremely forgiving. And so I had gained about 30 pounds again in residency. And in the third year of my residency, I had decided that enough was enough. I basically didn't like who I saw in the mirror. I don't know if any of you can relate to that. There were times when I would let how I felt, I would look at the number on the scale and I would let it define me. And there were times when I would put on clothes and they didn't fit me, and at times I wouldn't even want to go out. And so there was a lot of arguments around it, and one day I just said, enough is enough. I've been exercising, but I haven't been following my nutrition. I had tried Insanity, and I was not in great shape, and that was absolutely soul-crushing for me to try Insanity. And at the time, T25 had just come out. And I said, you know what, I can do this. T25 is only 25 minutes, I can do this. I was working days, evenings, overnights, sometimes all in the same week. And so my schedule was constantly in a flux. And so I decided when I was about to start that I would try with Shakeology. And at the time I had been scrolling through social media, Instagram, and I would see other coaches, other girls with before and afters, and I said, you know what, this looks really cool. And so my coach approached me. I had no idea who she was. She approached me on Facebook and she said, you seem to enjoy fitness, you're posting about it. You should consider being a coach. And I was like, done, okay, that's great. I'll be a coach. And my mindset kind of walking into this, so I was like your discount coach. But my mindset walking into this is that if I could use these products to get into the best shape of my life, then absolutely it was going to be worth it. But if I could use it to influence 1 or 2 or 3 extra people, that would be the icing on the cake. And so immediately I started to chronicle my journey on social media. I was transparent from the very beginning. And I know a lot of people struggle with that at times, but I was your coach who, I had my program director following me, I had nurses following me from work. I did not care. And the reason why I didn't care is because I knew the intention that I had in my heart. I knew why I was posting. I was looking for that one person who needed to hear my story, that one person who needed to see my journey so that she could reach out to me. I didn't care what other people thought. And so slowly but surely, I started having people come up to me. I had people from grade school and high school who I had never heard about. I had not heard from in a long time, who came up, who reached out to me and said, Stephanie, you're busy, but yet here you are working out, you're posting about it. What in the world are you doing? And that's how it started, and I started to form them and start to get to know them. And so slowly but surely, doing that every single day, literally every single day. I do not miss a day of posting. I work a lot, and I never miss posting. But I think it's because I see the value, and I know that I'm looking for that one person who needs my help.
That's awesome. Well, next I have a two-part question for you. And first, again, it's interesting that this time last year, I asked you, what was your rank in January of 2015? 1-star diamond. The years gone by, and not only did you go through your residency, but you became a 5-star diamond elite coach. So some amazing progress there. It really is. Yeah. Keep it up for that. So if I were to ask you again, two-part question, how has Team Beachbody changed your life?
Yeah.
And then as a follow-up to that, why would you continue to do this now that you're a medical professional? You're a doctor, you're a physician.
Yeah.
Why would you continue with this?
Okay. So, when I graduated medical school, I had wanted to be a doctor since I was 7 years old. I was like that little girl who played with her little stethoscope. And when I reached, my goal, I kind of sat around and I said, now what? I did not feel that I had found my passion nor my purpose. Yet I had just spent 10 to 12 years of my life, pursuing this. And I realized that around the same time when I became a coach, there were these 2 young girls who came into my emergency room. 2 young, beautiful 17, 18-year-old girls who were overweight, depressed, and they were coming in because they wanted to commit suicide. And I remember sitting there, I remember wanting to give more, wanting to pour into these young women and let them know, you have so much in front of you, you have so much of a life in front of you. This is just how you feel right now, today, in these days. But I couldn't, I only had 15 minutes to work with these patients. And so I wanted to do more. There was a part of me that wanted to do more. And so when I signed up as a coach, I said, wow, I could really use this to influence people. The second reason why, in terms of I continue to pursue this is because I love mentorship. I would not be where I am today, an inner city girl who went to Harvard for residency, who's now an emergency medicine doctor, who's now, a coach. I would not be where I am today without someone believing in me, without that mentorship. And what I love about coaching, honestly, to me, what I love about coaching is being able to take a young woman who's depressed, a young woman who feels like all is, they're hopeless, and to watch them grow. For me, fitness is the first step. Fitness is the first step to a woman or a man taking care of themselves and really making that time for themselves. And so I love the fact that I can help them in their fitness, have them gain that confidence, and then allow them to continue to build themselves, build that confidence. And so when I think about leaving medicine, which yes, I will leave medicine for this, and it's because I don't care about the money that medicine can bring me, because it doesn't matter how much money you make if you're not pursuing what you love, if you're not waking up with that burning desire to reach people and to make a difference in people's lives. And let me tell you, one thing that I've noticed and realized by doing this is that people are alone. People are suffering alone. They're sad, they're depressed, they have anxiety. All of these diseases that I treat, I react to diseases in the emergency room. All these diseases, fibromyalgia, chronic pain, strokes, heart disease, these are all preventable. They're preventable diseases. And so what we're doing as coaches, our mission, I stand behind the mission proudly.
Love that. You're very much. I wish we had 2 more hours to really with questions, but we're running short. And so we'd be remiss if you didn't share with these coaches, Stephanie, you have an excellent story about persistence, never giving up, and would you close with just sharing that story with our audience today? Thank you.
All right, guys, so I don't know if any of you are horrible test takers. I am a horrible test taker. And if any of you have taken an entrance exam, I think you'll be able to relate. So when I went to apply to medical school, I took the MCAT, which is the entrance exam to get into medical school, and I did horrible. And basically I decided I'll do it again. So I took it again, and I did even worse. And I remember feeling absolutely devastated. And I remember thinking, oh my goodness, how am I going to accomplish my dream? How am I going to do this? Either way, I decided to apply anyway, and I applied to 30 schools. And I sat and I waited. And when I tell you I got the first letter was a no. The second letter was a no. The third letter was a no. All the way to 29 was a no. One after the other, I got no after no after no. And I remember when I was waiting for that last letter, I said, what in the world happened to this letter? And I decided to call, and I said, what happened to my letter? And they said, we lost your application. Either way, to fast forward, that last application, I got a yes. I got a yes into that program. And honestly, all I needed was that one yes. But what I want to leave you with is imagine had I not believed in myself enough to call that school. Imagine I had said, you know what, 29 no's, this school's gonna say no as well. And so as you guys are kind of going through this year, you all have a vision, you all have a goal, you all have a dream for yourself. And so I wanna encourage you not to give up. That road is going to be hard, but I wanna encourage you not to give up.
Well, Stephanie, thank you so much. Let's give Stephanie a huge round of applause. Great story. Let's all be persistent like Stephanie, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.
One more round of applause. Incredible story. All right, this next individual